Hello students, welcome back to your online classes. You have completed your examination yesterday and today is 5th. Today we are going to start our online classes again and I am here with some programs. Let us see the first program. Convert lowercase letter to uppercase letter. Suppose you are giving small letter A, then should print capital letter A. That's all. Small letters will be converted to capital letter. Let us see the program. In order to do your program, you need to install BlueJ as well as JDK 1.5 or more. After installing those software, you have to open BlueJ. From Oracle software site, you are able to download Java and BlueJ is free. You Google it, you will get it. I am going to open BlueJ here. BlueJ I have opened. I have typed the program and kept it over here. Okay, let us see the logic. Before seeing the logic, first run the program. After typing any program, you need to compile that. I have compiled my program. Now see the message. Class compiled, no syntax errors. That means your program is ready to give answer or ready to run. Now close this. This is your program. Void main. You need to run this method. It is asking for an input. What is the input you need? You need to give a character over here. I am giving a character as small letter A. This small letter A, how I have given, please see, it's given in single quotes. So when you input characters, that should be kept in single quotes. Give OK. Then see the output. This is the output screen. Character in uppercase A. What was your input? Small letter A. What is your output? Capital letter A. This is your program. Okay. Now I am running it again, giving here 7. Is it a letter? You may have doubt now what will be the output. Just see the output. Character not in lowercase. So you have the proper message. Character is not in lowercase. Let us see the logic now. Every program, it need a class. Then static void main. This is your input. You are going to give a character as input. This is a variable I have initialized, okay, for my use in the program. That's all. Now I am checking the character that you are giving over here, that will be converted to its particular ASCII value. Small letter A, the ASCII value is 97, and small letter Z, the ASCII value is 122. So the lowercase letters, its ASCII value starts from 97 to 122. Now your doubt, what will be the ASCII values of capital letters? It is from 65 to 90. Capital letter A is 65 and capital letter Z is 90. So these ASCII values you need to remember. It's very important to remember about the ASCII values. See, I am giving a character here, but here automatic conversion will be done. Okay, it's called a type promotion. Type promotion will be done from character to integer. So I am checking. See, in the example program I have given C as small letter A. What is the equivalent ASCII value of small letter A? 97. I am checking if that character comes in between 97 to 122, then I need to print its capital letter. Then I need to subtract 32. What I need to subtract? 32. 97 minus 32, that is 65. Okay, that 65 will be stored in CH because it is an integer variable. 65 is stored in CH. Now I am going to print system.out.println character in uppercase. If I print CH simply over here, then what will be printed? 65 will be printed. But I need capital letter A. So I am printing character value of CH. Character value of CH means character value of CH. CH is 65. 65 its character value. What is it? Capital letter A. So this is a conversion. What is this? A conversion. That conversion is called explicit conversion. Explicit means we are forcefully converting a number to character. Which number? 65. Its equivalent character is capital letter A. Else case, always it will print character not in lowercase. That was the input you have just watched. Okay. Now look at the second question. We have the second question here. Greatest number among two different numbers using if else. See, these are my numbers 15 and 45. I need to print the greatest among this. Which is the greatest number? 45. So 45 should come as the output. Let us see the program through the BlueJ system. I have typed the program and kept it. This is your program. Before explaining this, let us see what is the input and output. So right click here, then you have two inputs here, value of A as well as value of B. 15, 45. Since these two are integer values, no need of keeping them in single quotes or some special symbols. Don't do that. Only you need to keep these numbers simply. Click on OK. Your answer is ready now. Among 55 and 45, which is the greatest number? 45. That is displayed. Now see the explanation part. Class greatest numbers. This class, any class, this is a valid class. You can give any class name. This should be in lowercase. This can be any name. Okay. Now void main, this is the input. Whatever number you need to get from the user, that you will be giving along with this method, main method. Okay. So I am asking two inputs, the value of A and B. This A and B you will be getting during the run time of your program. And this is a variable I have initialized to 0. You need to always initialize variables to 0 because without initializing variables, you cannot use these variables in Java. So before the usage, you need to initialize the variables. So I have initialized the variables here. Now you may have certain doubt what is initialization. Initialization means giving the basic value or starting value to a variable. I have given the starting value as 0. Now checking if A greater than B. A greater than B. While running the program, I have given A as 15 and B as 45. Checking 15 greater than 45. It's false. False means else part will be executed. What is else part doing? G. This is a variable in order to store the greater number. G is equal to B. G is equal to B means G, its value will be the value of B. That means 45. 45 will be stored to G. Now after this, system.out.println, the greatest number G. G means 45 will be printed. Now consider another example. Suppose I am giving here A as 45 and B as 15. Then G I have initialized to 0. A greater than B means 45 greater than B. Yes, it's true. This expression will evaluate true value. True means this particular statement will be executed. That means in G the value of A will be stored. That means G will be assigned with 45. Since this statement is true, else part won't be executed. Else part won't be executed. Coming over here, system.out.println, the greatest number is G. G means 45, which is stored in A. So that is what the program, how it runs. Next program, we are going to see the next program, that is number is a 2-digit number or not. See, 2-digit number, you are knowing it's ranging from 10 to 99. 44, yes. 4, no. This should come. So let us see that program also, 2-digit number. I have typed and kept the program for you. I am opening it. My class is ready here. Static void main. This is the input. How many input you need? Only one input, because you are entering a number and checking whether it is 2-digit number or not. You are knowing numbers ranging from 10 to 99 are 2-digit numbers. So this is my number. Okay, suppose I am giving here 44. If A means 44 greater than 9. Yes, of course. And A, AND operator is used here. I am combining these two relational operators by a logical operator called AND. 45 greater than 9 and 45 less than 100. Yes, 45 is less than 100. So this entire expression evaluates to true. There is entire expression evaluates to true. So system.out.println, the given number is a 2-digit number. If this is true, then this will be printed. See, consider another example. I am giving 250. 250 here. 250. Now let us see here. A means 250. 250 greater than 9. 250 is greater than 9. Yes. And 250 less than 100. False. So this won't be executed. This won't be executed. What will be executed then? Else part. What is in else part? The given number is not a 2-digit number. This will be executed. Let us see the program once again. I am giving 88. Okay. The given number is a 2-digit number. It's okay. Now again running void main 1. The given number is not a 2-digit number. It's right. Again I am giving 892, not a 2-digit number. Now it's giving the right answer. So this is the way. Now we are moving to the fourth program. Character is uppercase letter or not. Uppercase means capital or not. The given, you will be entering a character and you need to print whether it is in uppercase or not. That's all. So let us see the program. Uppercase, this is the program. I am getting a character here. Now I am checking. As soon as I am getting that character, I am checking whether it's ASCII value. We are knowing the ASCII value of capital letter. It's starting from 65 to 90. So I am checking. See, here when I write C like this, its implicit type conversion will be done and the character will be automatically converted to its equivalent ASCII value. Suppose I am giving here capital letter B. Capital letter B. Then here it will be 66. Why 66? Because the ASCII value of capital letter B is 66. Now checking 66 greater than or equal to 65. Yes. And 66 less than or equal to 90. That is also true. See, this is an expression and this is another relational expression. These two are combined by using a logical operator AND. In order to get the true value over here, you need to make this statement as well as this true. Then only the whole statement will evaluate to true. So this is evaluating to true. So if this is satisfied, then this will be executed. Character is in uppercase. All other cases, which part will be executed? Else part. Then what will be printed? Character is not in uppercase. Consider another example. Here I am giving 97. Okay, 97. See, that means 97 greater than or equal to 65. Yes. And 97 less than or equal to 90. False. So which part will be executed? Else. What is that? Character not in uppercase. See, I have to give a character. I told you, whenever you need to give a character, it has to be kept in single quotes. So I am giving the character A, lowercase a. Character not in uppercase. Okay. Next, I am giving here a character as L, capital letter L. See, character is in uppercase. Now let us give character 7. Character not in uppercase. So this is the answer. Next question, the second last question, that is taking input in a character and finding and printing it's a vowel or not. See, taking input. Input means you need to use scanner class. Okay. Now taking the input and printing whether it is vowel or not. Suppose I am getting A, then what will be printed? Yes will be printed. And if I am getting input as Z, then what will be printed? No will be printed. Okay, so let us see. Whenever there is a vowel as the input, you will get yes, and if it is not a vowel, then no. See, this is the program. So the scanner one, it was explained very clearly to you in my previous video. So whenever you need to get input by using scanner, you need to write this import java.util.scanner. Then your class, then as usual your main method. Here you won't give any input now because you are going to get the input. This process you are going to do here. Okay, so here no input now. You are going to get the input by using scanner. So scanner sc is equal to new scanner system.in. This is the object for the scanner class. This was explained earlier. Those who are not getting these things, please watch that video. So scanner object I have created. Now this is the message. This will activate the terminal window. What is the message? Enter a character. Now how to read a character? This is the way to read a character. You need to remember this. Okay, you need to remember this. These all things I have explained there in the previous video. So watch that video if you are not clear about these things. So up to here what we have done, lot of statements are written, but we have getting the input. Char a is equal to se.next character 0 means I am receiving a character here simply. It can be a, it can be p, it can be q, any character. Now I am checking that character what I got here, is it equal to, when we can say it's a vowel, a, e, I, o, u. I have written capital letter also because capital letter as well as small letter both will be considered as vowel, that's why. See, the operator used over here combining these all statements are OR operator. See, logical OR. Which operator is used? Logical OR. We have used the logical AND in the previous example, and here we are using logical OR operator. So our logical OR operator, first I am checking A means the character what I have received is equal, see the equal to here. The equal to is double equal to. This is used for checking the equality in a Java program. I am checking the character what I have received here. For example, it is P. Okay, I have received in variable A as P. So checking A is equal to A means P is equal to A. I will get false. Okay, and here also it will be checked. Here also this all will be checked. If any one of this particular statement evaluates to true means the whole expression will be evaluated to true. Then if so, suppose this is true, then this will be executed. What is the execution? The input character is a vowel. Else the output will be printed as input character, not a vowel. Now consider I am giving the character here as I. Okay, I. In A what I will receive? I. Now checking I is equal to A? No. I is equal to E? No. I is equal to I? Yes. True. If this is evaluating any of the statements here, what is written is evaluating to true means this will be executed. What is that? The character is a vowel. Okay. Now I am giving another example here. In this character, when I type, I am giving P. Now checking. P is equal to A? No. P is equal to E? No. P is equal to I? It's not evaluating to true. All these statements are false. So what will be executed? This won't be executed. Else part will be executed. In else part what is written? System.out.println, the character not a vowel. Let us see the program. Enter a character. See, previously you were getting the function argument and see the difference between the input. Now you are getting the proper message. Enter a character. You can enter the character. The input character is a vowel. A is a vowel? Yes, A is a vowel. Now we will run the program again. Enter a character. I am entering a capital letter A. Character is vowel. Okay. Now I am entering Y, capital letter. The input character is not a vowel. So this is what the program is. Next is you are going to input day number and the week, day number of a week and printing its name. Suppose you are entering 1, what will be printed? Sunday will be printed. Okay, and 2 means Monday will be printed. That's all. So that is your question. See, here onwards, children, you need to write all the program very compulsory in your notebook. Okay, in your copy you need to write all the programs, the question, program, input and output. It's a must. See the program first. This is your program. Okay, seems to be a very big program, but the logic is very simple. Okay, since we are going to get the input by using scanner, this statement is a must. Your class comes, then your void main comes. In void main part there is nothing because we are going to get the input by using the scanner class. If scanner you are using, then you will be creating its object. Object is here. What is the name of object? SE is the object. Now message for the terminal window. So enter a day number. This is the message for the terminal window, and here we receive the value. Enter a day number. You can enter 1, 2, 5, 15. Any number can be entered here. Now checking. if a is equal to 1. We are checking this program we are doing with the if, other programs we will be doing with switch. So let us see this program with the if a is equal to 1. Okay, that means the value of this 1 is 1 means what you will print? Sunday. Okay, now else if in else if a is equal to 2, if you are inputting 2, what will be printed? Monday. Else if a is equal to 3, then Tuesday, then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and else case what will be printed? Not a valid day number. Okay, so this is your program. I am scrolling it so that everybody can write the program. Okay, so this is the program. Please pause and write the program. I am compiling it. See, class compile, no syntax errors. Close. Now right click here, void main. See, enter the day number. The message what you have given over there, the same message came here. So day number I am entering 1. Now Sunday came. Again I am running. Enter the day number. I am entering 7. Then Saturday came. Now I am entering another one. This is 45. Then not a valid number. Not a valid number. So the valid numbers are in between 1 to 7. All other days will be considered as invalid. So this is the program. So in A you can give any number, but the valid numbers are in between 1 to 7. If you are entering 1 here, then it will be checked. 1 is equal to 1. Yes. Then Sunday will be printed. And these all statements will be skipped after that because we are using else if. Suppose this is executed, then these statements won't be executed, won't be checked for execution. Then you may be asking when the control will come to this statement. The control will come to this statement if this is false. When the control will come to this statement, suppose these two are false, then only the control will come to this statement. Okay, that is the use of else if. I think it is clear for you. Hereafter you need to maintain your copy very properly because we have started the programs. I am winding up over here. Take care of yourself. Bye.